Steelers Nation, what's up? This season has been a roller coaster, but one thing's for sure. Your Pittsburgh Steelers are doing everything they can to fine-tune their game and deliver big results. Week 11 brought another nail-biting win, and today, we're diving deep into the growing connection between Russell Wilson and George Pickens, now hailed as one of the top quarterback-receiver duos in the NFL. Before we jump into this exciting story, don't forget to hit that like button to support the black and gold. And hey, if you're not already subscribed, make sure to click that button and turn on notifications so you don't miss a second of Steelers action. Alright, let's get into it. Steelers fans, we've all seen the difference since Russell Wilson took over as quarterback. The offense feels more dynamic, more poised, and, honestly, more dangerous. While Week 11 didn't see any offensive touchdowns, the Steelers still managed to secure an 18-16 win over the Ravens. And a big part of that success lies in the budding partnership between Wilson and George Pickens. Pickens has always been a player with immense potential, but since Wilson arrived, he's been on fire. The chemistry between them is undeniable, with Wilson's precise deep throws and Pickens' ability to make big plays. Together, they've brought a spark to this offense, one that has Colin Cowherd and other analysts taking notice. On Monday, popular sports analyst Colin Cowherd didn't hold back in praising the Wilson-Pickens duo. He went so far as to call them one of the top 5 quarterback-receiver combos in the league. Here's what he had to say. George Pickens and Russell Wilson, it's a real thing now. This is a top 5 combo in the league. Pickens is averaging 11.5 yards per reception, and Wilson keeps delivering in critical moments. It's special. Coming from someone who wasn't sold on the Steelers heading into this season, that's high praise. Cowherd's comments reflect what we've all been seeing on the field. Pickens and Wilson are rewriting the offensive narrative for Pittsburgh. George Pickens has had his ups and downs early in his career. At times, it felt like the Steelers weren't fully utilizing his skill set. But since Wilson's arrival, everything has changed. Pickens is playing some of the best football of his career, and the numbers back it up. 48 receptions, 728 yards, 2 touchdowns, 15.2 yards per reception, third in the NFL. While 2 touchdowns may not seem like much, both came from Wilson's arm. More importantly, Pickens' growing role in the offense suggests those numbers will climb. His ability to stretch the field, make contested catches, and deliver in key moments has made him one of the most exciting playmakers in the league. Since recovering from a calf injury, Wilson has led the Steelers to a 4-0 record, improving their overall mark to an impressive 8-2. His leadership, experience, and ability to stay calm under pressure have elevated the entire offense. Coach Mike Tomlin has often spoken about the importance of leadership in the locker room, and Wilson embodies that. His impact isn't just seen in his stats but in how he's helped players like Pickens reach new heights. With Wilson under center, there's a renewed sense of confidence in Pittsburgh. His precision, especially on deep passes, has been a perfect match for Pickens' skill set. Together, they've created an offensive identity that could be crucial as the Steelers make their playoff push. Let's take a moment to talk about what's at stake. The Steelers are sitting at 8-2 and have a real shot at locking up a playoff spot as early as Week 13. Yes, you heard that right. Here's the scenario. If Pittsburgh wins its next 2 games against the Cleveland Browns and Cincinnati Bengals, and gets a little help from teams like the Patriots, Lions, and Packers, they could clinch a postseason berth. The Steelers currently have a 99% chance of making the playoffs, according to CBS Sports. If everything falls into place, they could officially punch their ticket by Week 13. But as Coach Tomlin would say, it's one game at a time. First up is a Thursday night football showdown against the Browns. While Cleveland has struggled this season, anything can happen in an AFC North rivalry game. Now, let's talk about the long-term outlook. At almost 36 years old, some might wonder how much gas Wilson has left in the tank. But he's made it clear, he plans to play for another 5 to 7 years, and he wants to do it in Pittsburgh. Reports suggest that the Steelers are already considering a long-term extension for Wilson. Locking him in would not only solidify the team's commitment to their veteran quarterback, but also ensure the Wilson-Pickens connection continues to flourish. If Pickens gets an extension after his rookie deal, we could be looking at several more seasons of this dynamic duo tearing up the league. And for a team with Super Bowl aspirations, that stability at quarterback and receiver could be the key to making a deep run. With 7 games left in the regular season, the Steelers control their destiny. Winning out would secure the top seed in the AFC and a first-round bye. While that's a tall order, the team has already shown they can compete with the best. The focus now is on maintaining momentum. The defense continues to dominate, and the offense, led by Wilson and Pickens, is finding its groove. If they can keep building on this foundation, there's no limit to what this team can achieve. Pittsburgh's season has been nothing short of impressive. At 8-2, the Steelers are leading the AFC North and have legitimate Super Bowl aspirations. But with success comes the pressure to maintain it, and Thursday's matchup against the 2-8 Browns might not be as easy as it looks on paper. Yes, Cleveland is struggling, but division games are always unpredictable. The Browns are playing for pride, and their defense, led by Myles Garrett, is capable of causing problems for even the best offenses. Meanwhile, the Steelers are riding high after a gritty 18-16 win over the Ravens, but this has "trap game" written all over it. Let's start with the defensive side of the ball. TJ Watt has been nothing short of dominant this season, racking up 3 sacks over the last 3 games. Watt loves playing against the Browns, and with Cleveland's DeJuan Jones out for the season, their offensive line looks vulnerable. Jedrick Wills Jr. is expected to step in at left tackle, and this could be a golden opportunity for Watt to wreak havoc. According to Steelers analyst Rob Gregson, Watt has been more versatile this year, switching sides on the line to exploit mismatches. With Alex Highsmith likely out, the Steelers may rotate Nick Herbig and Preston Smith on the opposite side to keep the pressure on Cleveland's offensive line. The bottom line: expect TJ Watt to make life miserable for whoever tries to block him. If the Steelers can pressure quarterback Deshaun Watson or his backup consistently, Cleveland's offense will struggle to gain any momentum. On the flip side, the Steelers' offense will have its hands full with Myles Garrett. The Browns' superstar pass rusher has been relatively quiet in recent weeks, but he has a history of turning up against Pittsburgh. The challenge for the Steelers is twofold. First, rookie tackle Broderick Jones struggled against Baltimore, and veteran Dan Moore Jr. is no stranger to Garrett's dominance. Second, Russell Wilson has been sacked frequently in recent games, a worrying trend as the Steelers aim to protect their veteran quarterback. So, how does Pittsburgh neutralize Garrett? The answer might lie in tight end Darnell Washington. Known for his blocking ability, Washington could play a crucial role in chipping Garrett and giving Wilson more time in the pocket. Offensive coordinator Matt Canada may also lean on quick passes and screens to minimize Garrett's impact. The key will be discipline. If the Steelers' offensive line can limit Garrett's effectiveness, they'll have a much better chance of establishing their game plan. Speaking of the game plan, let's talk offense. Russell Wilson has brought a steady hand to the quarterback position, but protecting him is priority number 1. Myles Garrett isn't the only threat on Cleveland's defense, and the Steelers will need to execute at a high level to keep the chains moving. Expect the offense to lean on running back Najee Harris to establish the ground game early. A strong rushing attack will not only help control the clock, but also take pressure off Wilson. Additionally, George Pickens remains a critical weapon in the passing game. His chemistry with Wilson has been a revelation, and he'll need to continue making big plays downfield. Another player to watch is Darnell Washington. While his blocking will be essential, don't be surprised if the Steelers get him more involved as a pass-catching option. His size and athleticism make him a matchup nightmare, especially in the red zone. Now, let's address the elephant in the room. Is this a trap game for the Steelers? On paper, Pittsburgh should win this matchup. But as Rob Gregson pointed out, the Browns are a desperate team with nothing to lose. Coming off the emotional high of a division win against the Ravens, the Steelers need to guard against complacency. Thursday night games are always tricky, and playing on a short week adds another layer of complexity. Gregson predicts a hard-fought game that goes down to the wire, with the Steelers prevailing 22-18. But for that to happen, Pittsburgh must stay focused and execute in all 3 phases of the game. Here's what's at stake. At 8-2, the Steelers control their playoff destiny. A win against Cleveland would not only keep them atop the AFC North, but also move them closer to securing a postseason berth. While the Browns may be out of the playoff picture, a loss to a division rival could be a momentum killer for Pittsburgh. The Steelers have bigger aspirations this season, and games like this are crucial stepping stones toward those goals. The team's ability to create turnovers has been a cornerstone of their success, and it could once again be the difference on Thursday. If the defense can force Cleveland into mistakes, the offense will have opportunities to capitalize. What to watch for? As you tune in on Thursday night, Keep an eye on these key storylines. T.J. Watt vs. Jedrick Wills Jr. Can Watt dominate the Browns' depleted offensive line? Myles Garrett's impact. Will the Steelers' offensive line and tight ends be able to neutralize him? Najee Harris and the ground game. Can the Steelers establish the run and control the tempo? George Pickens' playmaking. Will Pickens continue his breakout season with another big performance? Steelers Nation, now it's your turn. What do you think about Russell Wilson and George Pickens? Are they already a top 5 duo in the NFL, or do they still have more to prove? And how confident are you in this team's chances of making a deep playoff run? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. We want to hear from you. Don't forget to hit that like button if you're excited about what this team is building. And if you're not already subscribed, now's the time. Join the community and stay up to date with all things Steelers. Thanks for watching, and as always, here we go, Steelers.